Welcome back, YouTube. On my last video, I was talking about basically having positive vibes, and this may kind of be a little extension of that, sort of, kind of. But during your weight loss journey or any type of transformation and changes in your life, you have to know that you are in control of those things. You control everything that you go throughout the journey. You know, the choices you have cause and effect. You know, if you make bad choices, you're going to have bad results. But sometimes that's not the case. So I kind of take that back, because sometimes you could do everything right or feel like you're doing everything right and nothing seems to turn out the correct way. But throughout this process, I had to do my research. I had to learn about weight loss in general. I had to learn how weight affects my body. I had to learn how food affects my body. I had to learn how food affects my body. Exercise. I had to learn different things about how to eat, how carbs, proteins, fat, and processed food affect me. So this has been a long process. 3 years. I haven't gained all of the weight back. I've teeter-totted between like 20 pounds maybe, because I've tried different things. I've tried different exercise. I got tired of doing the workouts that I was doing, so I tried walking, and I walked for a while, and I got tired of walking, and I wasn't seeing the results I wanted to see with walking, so I started jogging. But you're in control of this process. You have to keep your mind in a positive mindset, because it's a struggle. And if you focus on the negative parts of this journey, then you're sure to fail. You have to change your mind. You have to change your way of thinking, because at one point I would always say, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that." But now I choose to say I struggle with doing this, or I struggle with doing that, and I find out the correct way of doing it. And if I can't do it that exact way, I'll make smaller changes to see if I can get to the point that I want to be at once I get, once I get accustomed to doing that thing. And I'll make an example about exercise. Okay, so exercise, I've always said I modify. We know that you modify. And I can do a jumping jack. I weighed just that much. My back hurt. My knees. I had a knee injury in a car wreck when I was younger. So it dislocates. I've talked about this in, previous videos. But I had to modify that jumping jack. But I had to modify it in such a way that it built up my strength in order for me to be able to do jumping jacks. Now I can do jumping jacks. However, I still have to put one of those sleeves on, or adjustable knee brace on, when I'm doing certain exercises that cause me to do a lot of bending and jumping, so I can protect that knee. But also, I don't put too much support on it, because I want to be able to use it in such a way to where it gets stronger and it strengthens. So I had to modify along the way. I didn't say, okay, I just can't do this. I had to modify. I had to modify my nutrition. I had to keep making smaller changes and drastic changes. Sometimes I had to cut everything out. I had to cut everything out in order for it to be beneficial for me to see the different effects that things had on my body. Like, I don't deal with cheeses or dairies. The only dairy that I use is creamery in my coffee, and it's sugar-free, because I know that my body can't handle sugar, because I found out that with the PCOS that I'm insulin resistant. So sugar doesn't work over very well with me. Neither does carbs. I had to learn to cut out processed foods as well. Processed foods is pretty much everything in that middle aisle of the store. I had to stick to vegetables and meats, and I don't really do fruits like that. So I try to eat berries or eat them seldom yet, you know what I'm saying, randomly. Whenever I be like, okay, I got to taste some pineapples or some watermelon or some cantaloupe, I do it like that. But my main thing is meats and vegetables. But it wasn't that at one point. One point I tried to follow someone on YouTube and they were using a lot of processed meals, but they were made out of vegetables. Those processed meals had too much salt. I had high blood pressure, too many carbs, which my body didn't agree with. Even with me intermittent even with me fasting in increments, because I can't say the word right now and I know I can say it. Even with me fasting, throughout the day, doing like 12 hours fasting, you know what I'm saying, and the other 12 hours eating, or 18 hours fasting, 6 hours eating. Even with me doing that, those processed foods wreak havoc on my weight loss. It did not assist me, even though I was exercising 6 days a week. It had no effect on my weight loss. So I couldn't use those. So I did fresh vegetables, and I will often be, hungry, discouraged, because all of these things that I was trying were not working. But you have to understand that you still have to look at it as, I'm in control of this. You know what I'm saying? My body gonna do what I tell it to do. You gotta be persistent and consistent. You gotta make good choices. You know what I'm saying? We fall weak and, I just had to have it. I just wanted to have it. We make ourselves weak. It's a mind thing. We have control over those things. We don't have to have those things. Know that whatever you do is a choice. And that's what I had to understand throughout this process, that whatever I did was my choice. I was in control of that, and I didn't allow my body or my thoughts to control what my goal was. And that was the main thing that helped me throughout this process, and it still helps me now. That's why I'm able to cut out all of the processed foods. Meat and vegetables. No fried foods. I said I was going to stay away from fried foods because I wanted to see how my body adjusted to it. And I had this, before I tried this a couple of months ago, I was having problems with my skin. My face was breaking out. I was getting all kind of bumps. It was cystic, and this happens with PCOS. You have cystic acne, and when you have that I don't know what it is today, that cystic acne, it causes, it's up under the skin. It's hard to manage. It's hard to get rid of. Eating that oily food, that fried food, comes out in my skin, and it showed on the surface. I have scars from where my skin would break out, and it just get worse and worse. Now that I'm just eating meats and vegetables and cutting out all that fried stuff, my skin looks 100% better. Drinking water, only drinking like electrolytes. I do have my caffeine, my coffee, and I do have my sugar-free sodas. I try to do Sprite Zero, or I love Pepsi. So Pepsi Zero, Sprite Zero, and stuff like that. But I do that in between drinking my water and making sure I have my electrolytes. But I've been sticking to the meat and the vegetables, but I've only been doing that for maybe like 3 weeks now. And I want to consistently do it over time to see how this affects my body, because I went from walking to strength training because my schedule, it changed. So instead of me being off during the week and having time to go, and do what I want to do while my son was at school, now I have to do it before I go to work. So I get up and I work out before I go to work, and then now I'm working every day of the week. So there's no free day for me to, do what I want to do. So I started doing strength training with some cardio and stuff like that, and that affects your weight as well. So, and as you know, I don't weigh myself. There's no need to weigh yourself. Once you get so far in your journey, and if you want to continue to go, and if this is a lifestyle change and it's not about the weight loss, you'll see that the scale does service. So I'll just go about how I feel, and how I feel on the inside, how I look, and I make changes according to my goals. You have to know what your goals are. You have to know what you want out of this journey. So that's my main focus. My main focus is focused on, being a healthier person all around. It was just about, the weight at first, but eventually I had to make it, it's a lifestyle change. I want to be healthy. I have a small child. It was 20 years in between my two kids. So basically I had to start over. I watched my dad die of a young age. I watched my mom get sick. She's okay now, but going through that whole process of not knowing what was wrong was very, very traumatic. It makes you think about things in a different light. Seeing my sister pass away at 40. She passed away. She left the kids. And I saw what they had to go through. What I had to go through losing her. I miscarried, because I was unhealthy. I know that majority of it was my health, because with my second son, I had a good pregnancy because I had started taking care of myself and I had lost some weight. So it wasn't a toll on my body, but all of that stress on my body, on top of the weight, on top of the medical problems and the things that I was dealing with, was just too much. So those things brought about change in my life. Those events. I watched, watching my family members get sick and pass away, and then also having it directly happen to me with miscarrying a child. So, you have to know that you're in control of this process. You have to know why you're doing this. Are you doing this to be healthy? Are you doing this to change your lifestyle? Or are you trying to look for a temporary fix? Some things doesn't happen fast as they do for others. But I enjoyed this slow process because this slow process has taught me a lot about myself. It has changed me from the inside out. Not just with weight loss. I've changed the way I think and the way I feel about certain things. But I know now that I'm in control of what happens to me. Yeah, we have outside things that happen, but I'm in control of what happens to me. I'm in control of what I'm doing, for my life and for myself. Yeah, things happen. But like I said, God got me. I'm not worried about it. But you have to be mindful of everything that you do on this journey. And you have to take the time to learn whatever it is that you need to learn in order to be successful. So just know that you're in control. And thank you for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. And have a good day.